Hello coders, today we're going to be talking about DevLids. It's a project built by Antonio Radovcic. Is that the correct pronunciation? Yes, it is.
Yes, it's very good. It's very good.
Hello Antonio, how's it going? You had a good week?
Hi Peter. Yeah, I had a pretty stressful week, but why we may hear later, but everything is good. I have my Coke here and my Funko Pops and my water. And this is my first time on a podcast or on a video on YouTube, so I'm really excited. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you here. You've got a fantastic project, which is DevLids, and this is a gallery, an online gallery of laptop lids, so the stickers. Mm-hmm. And it really shows the creative side of developers, and it's great because it's sort of like it's very personal, it's very unique. Now we're going to be talking about DevLids, and we're also going to be talking about your background as a developer as well. So let's start by talking about DevLids. Where can we actually see DevLids? What's the URL?
It's pretty simple. It's devlids.com.
That's pretty good.
and also, I mean, when this comes out, it may be a few days, so I can say it. It will, I hope, be lids.dev.
Oh.
Because as we're recording it, Google is now handing out those .dev domains, and I'm not paying thousands of dollars, but I'm optimistic that nobody will take it from me. So therefore, it will say devlids.com.
Excellent. And how many of these laptop images do you currently have on the website?
I don't know. No, but so on DevLids there are, as of yesterday it were 300 contributors.
Wow.
So one contributor is like one person who's submitting stuff, and but they may have multiple images. Maybe the bottom of the laptop lid or some interesting bottoms too, and like some people like Ken Wheeler, the React and open source guy, has like I think 3 laptops, so it's 300 plus. Right now it's 303 contributors, and we have, I guess, around 340 single laptop images on there.
Oh my
right now.
God, that's loads. Yeah, that's pretty good. How long have you been doing this project for?
So I've been doing this project since I know the exact day, not the exact date, but maybe you remember the time when all this GDPR stuff went live, and everybody needed to get it done like by the day. And this was the weekend that also DevLids launched. So it was a bit, I don't know, this back and forth about the GDPR was a bit exciting also in a professional way. But since May. So I think it's 20th May, or it's end of May of last May. So not even
so it's
a
not
whole
even
year.
It's not even a year yet. It's not even had its birthday. Wow. So what was your inspiration of doing this project?
Yeah, so I've always liked this aesthetic of lots of stickers on the walls. The first time I really saw it, or where it got kind of interesting, was at the washroom of an indie disco we went in Munich for a long time, and the whole mirror was covered in stickers, which kind of transforms the idea of a mirror into a presentation table of all those bands. And not only the mirrors, but everything was full of stickers. And I always liked this kind of grungy, street arty aesthetic. And when I was at the Beyond Tellerrand conference in Düsseldorf last year, I think it was also in May, on the train back, I thought, all those speakers, almost everybody has stickers on their laptops, right?
Yeah.
There's just got to be some nerd. I'm sure some nerd came up with like a gallery. I want to see those. I want to browse those, and I couldn't find it. What I found were some like news articles on websites about, say, here are stickers interesting, or just some people on Instagram hashtag stickers, and on Twitter, but there wasn't really a gallery or just some accumulation of all this stuff, and also not in a like readable or parsable or scrapable way.
Right.
So this was the main main idea.
Because you've got an RSS feed on there as well, haven't you? Which people can check
yes,
the latest ones out. Yeah.
It broke. I think it was broken for a couple of weeks, and I didn't notice. Since I think the day before yesterday, somebody on Twitter mentioned it, and then I did a little here and there at the CMS, and I think now it should work out.
Right. So okay, let's take a step back a bit and talk about how we can actually get our images onto the project. What is the requirements for someone who has a great DevLid that they want to put on to the thing? Is there anything that you require them to have or do?
Yes. So I don't want this to be like an advertisement for products. So if I would put just MacBooks on there, I could just put some image from apple.com on there, or from IBM or whatever. So for me, the most important requirement is that the lid is unique in some kind of way.
Right.
So it doesn't need to be like the classic sticker bombed or whatever, but it needs to have something that is kind of unique, right? As soon as you put on something there, you have a unique thing.
Sure.
This could be like decals or decals,
yeah.
those whole lid things, or stickers, paint jobs, but I didn't, or like airbrush jobs, but I don't have one of those yet. And the other requirement is that it should be kind of from the tech or science or design like niche or area. So because I don't want to just random stickers on there. I think if I didn't have this requirement, I could do 4 times more lids on there, because my main way of getting lids on this site is to just really simply search on Twitter. Lots of people are putting their laptops with the stickers on Twitter, and just by simply asking, hey, that's cool, may I add it to DevLids?
Right.
And usually, so I think so far I had only one person saying no, I'd rather not. But I think 2/3 of all the lids come from Twitter, and everybody was like, yeah, cool, or some do retweet it, some just say, yeah, okay, thanks, and some are kind of, okay, yes, yeah, if you want, but everybody's really positive about it, and that's also one thing I really like about this stuff.
Yeah. So do you also get them from Instagram and other places like that too, or is it mainly just the Twitter as the source?
It's really mainly Twitter, and me photographing it at conferences, because this is also a really good like conversation starter or something to talk about. And I mean, laptop stickers are like kind of like tattoos, because also tattooed people really like to, if I were to ask a tattooed person, can I take a photo? This is really cool tattoo. Then I guess they are more ready to do it than like somebody who's like a bit more closed or passive. So this is something that is meant for the public, right? It's a like communication to the outside, and usually people like that, and they say, yeah, sure, I have here another laptop. Hey, can you take this? Yeah, put it on there. Yeah. It's really always a fun and positive situation.
Yeah, I've never really thought of it like that, but you're right. Yeah, they are. They are like our development tattoos. They're a way of us expressing what we do, what we like, because I mean, the stickers that I've got, I'm just looking at my laptop here, the stickers that I've got, they're all things that I've done or I've been to. They're not just random statements or like just, like you said, just random branding or stuff. It is a statement of who I am. So I've got a sticker of JavaScript, Docker, Symfony, Flask, all of those things. And that is kind of almost my advertising of what I can or what I do on a daily basis. And yeah, you've got all sorts of other stickers, and it's also the placement. So I remember when I was starting this out on my laptop, I found it incredibly challenging to work out which sticker I put as a priority. And I noticed that some people also do sticker overlays, so they put stickers on stickers. I haven't got that far yet.
This is the more So what I am observing at all those images are, it's often that there is no overlap at all, and my personal laptop also has no overlaps. It's the last one if you scroll down to the last page, and some are like overlap only, and of course the extreme ones are where you don't see the chrome of the laptop at all.
Yeah.
It's I think you just have to start with one.
Yes.
Or if you're unsure, get a like plastic lid, like a cover, and then put it on there, because it's not for everybody like this tattooing their device, and you don't know if you remove this without a trace.
That's a great point. That's exactly what I did, because I was so unsure that I didn't want to regret it. So what I did is I bought the sort of the case, and I stuck it on the case, which means that if I ever sell the laptop, then I can sell it without the stickers. And also, it's a statement, I think, of who I am. So I'm imagining that at some point in my life where I go through a series of laptops, I'll end up with a series of cases of these stickers, and I guess that neither one of them will be exactly the same. So I haven't thought about this in this sort of detail. It's
it's interesting how deep you can go with the thoughts about this for something that seemingly seems so like a minor, I guess, putting stickers on anywhere, because we all have done it since we're children.
Yeah,
I reckon. And what for me is also a big part, and I think it's primarily for developers, is a motivation to show the world, I'm owning this, I'm root. This is my laptop. I'm not some handed down laptop where I don't care. I open Outlook and Calendar, which is totally fine. I don't want to say anything, but like my machine, my drilling, my hammer, this is my main tool, and this is owned by me, and I'm putting stickers on it because it's mine. Yeah, I can do anything I want on here. It's not some lent device that I have to return after a year or something.
That's such a good point. Yeah, that's such a good point. So, okay, so it's just yourself doing this, right? As in, you're the person who's maintaining the code, you're uploading the images yourself. Have you got any thoughts on how you would like to expand the project later on, perhaps? You mentioned that on the website, you mentioned that it's non-commercial at the moment. Is there any plans to have a different sort of stance on that in the future? Where do you think the project's going to go?
Okay, so it's all by myself, and sometimes Mr. Peanut Butter is helping me. Okay. And he's really nice. And it's really myself, because also the scope of the project, I spent maybe 1 to 2 hours weekly on this. This is the most of the time is browsing to Twitter and finding images. And from getting the raw image to being on DevLids is maybe like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not so much time, and it's really a perfect amount for me to have a hobby.
Right.
About this. So it's currently it's just me. I don't know, maybe someday if it explodes and then I get like 10 lids a day where I don't even have to ask, but people keep sending it, maybe I have to think about kind of do a collaboration with somebody or something like this, but it's still too small and too young, I would say, to really plan on expanding it. There was one person offering help with the tagging, because I also have tags right now. It's still a bit of a work in progress. I still have to figure out the interface UI, how I want it to look, but every lid right now has tags in the little summary tag beneath the image. And maybe somebody to help with the tagging, because I don't know every logo. I needed 3 or 4 tries or 3 or 4 I don't know if it was Firebase or GitLab, till I realized, oh, this is GitLab, and I ignored it before.
Right, yeah.
So I think there's lots of work in the tagging to do, because tags is where I think it's getting real interesting, because you this is one of the more interesting parts because you can just filter by, give me all GitHub, all Octocats, which is the sticker with the most appearances on DevLids is the Octocat.
So that's the most popular one, the one with the most tags on. Oh,
the Octocat is really, really popular. Yeah. There's also lots of Salesforce stickers. They are crazy about stickers. I don't really know anything about Salesforce. I never worked with it. But one time I asked a Salesforce developer on Twitter, and they retweeted it. And then I think you can see if you scroll through, there's like a period, right, where you can see, okay, this is where all the Salesforce people came. Wow. So this is also really prominent on DevLids, but yeah, the Octocat is everywhere. Yeah. And the other part of your question, I think, was about it being non-commercial. Yes, because first of all, I'm in Germany. I really don't want to have anything to do with the text the text work. I think it's as soon as you start getting money through any other channels, it starts getting weird. And this project is like a passion, fun, hobby thing for me. And it really doesn't take much time, so it doesn't need to earn anything. Okay. I mean, the salaries for developers are in general pretty fine. And maybe in some point in the future, some opportunity I cannot foresee right now. I can't say I would never, ever, but maybe someday, I don't know. But it's not planned. I really don't want to do it right now to have anything with money, because as soon as you're starting making any money, there start to be some expectations. You have to do ... And this is where I guess it would start getting less and less fun.
I did notice that you have a sticker yourself for DevLids. You held something up earlier.
Yes, I have. I have too. So it was a few days before the React Day in Berlin. And it was like a couple of months after DevLids started, and I thought, I'm going to a conference now, I really need some stickers. And then I kind of rushed making a logo. I didn't rush it really, but it kind of evolved as I tried around. So now this is like the normal DevLids stickers. Awesome. I also sent those out for free. So I think I sent out 20 packs or so. So if anybody asks me on Twitter, just send me a direct message, and as long as I still have some left, I can send you a couple. The postage is not really expensive, so it's fine. Excellent. And also for the React, for the Developer Love, Frontend Developer Love conference in Amsterdam, I did those hexagonal.
You just bring it to the. That's it. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is like the so yeah, I wanted this hexagonal thing because I found I think it's a GitHub repo or a wiki with the exact measurements for this hexagonal sticker, so it matches with all the other ones that you have from React, Angular, and from all the other great technologies.
That's cool.
It's like you have exact measurements, and this you can upload to the printer of your choice, and then you can stick it seamlessly with all the other great technologies.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a really good to have your own sticker. That's pretty cool.
I think if you're doing such a website, then you need stickers, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
It's like vital. It's a no.
Can you have more than one? Can you have more than one lid on your profile? So, for example,
yes.
if for example I was to change my laptop in the future and change the case and then had a different setup of stickers, am I able to send that to you and say, can you attach that to my profile?
Yes, totally. So lots of lids I post are coming from Twitter posts like, I will miss my laptop, I need to give it back, and all the stickers, and they post like one last photo. Okay. And this is also a kind of a motivation. And then I also say, hey, do you want to keep this in memoriam? And I'll put it on DevLids. So it's kind of maybe sooner or later it will become a graveyard memorial. Yeah. Because no laptop takes longer than 3 or 4 years. or 5 years maybe.
Yeah.
So it's this is where it will start to get interesting in the coming years, also to see all the old technology, all the things that the people used to stick on there. So what we used React really. So in 2025, everybody was like, well, Angular, oh my God. And just like now they do with, I don't know. I don't want to name any technologies here.
I mean, it's a great tool to see this the trends over time, and like you said, it's a great place to have your memories of your because everybody remembers like the first laptop they had or whatever. That's I hadn't thought of it like that. That's such a good project to have. Yeah,
and also. To answer, yes, you can have multiple lids. Of course, you can have 10 if you want. It's really fine. What I do is if somebody updates their, so if you put 2 stickers more on it and then you send it to me, then I will probably replace the old image with the new one. Mm-hmm. But if it's like a new laptop or if it's the bottom side, like there are several lids on there where people put the stickers on the keyboard. Next to the keyboard or on the bottom, or I even have one, I think, laptop case where I wasn't that picky. So as long as it's a rectangular area and you use it for development, science, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't need to be this laptop. And iPads, I don't think I have an iPad right now, but it would also be fine. So of course, and I will always put the latest on top, but one person sent me the laptop of their kid even, so I put it also in there. And
wow,
no, it's totally fine. And what I don't yet have is like an aggregated view of all lids. Right. I only have like an aggregated view of all like contributors with their primary laptop. So this is maybe something when I find time to work a bit more on the interface and on the whole design, then this will probably be some filtering is going to come, definitely.
Right. And is there any other features that you would like to put on in the future?
New features for the future. Well, so the whole tagging thing is already it. I'll need to just expand it a little bit, and what's also what I'm planning now is to have some kind of API for it.
Right.
So I will not host a public API for whoever and to consume in masses, but maybe somebody wants to try React and they just, or I don't know what's hot right now, like Gatsby, and just grab your lids from here, so you don't have to write a scraper, because every data that's on DevLids is public anyway, so you could scrape the site just perfectly. There's no secret data I'm writing somewhere, really. It's all is public. And maybe some kind of REST API. And the CMS that I'm using for the page is Kirby CMS. It's a CMS that works with flat files, as opposed to, let's say, WordPress, where you have a database. Yeah. And I've used it for lots of clients, and I'm just really comfortable with it. So it was like a good solution for me.
It's also really fast, isn't it?
In the newest version, they have a API built in.
Right.
I didn't have much time yet to take care of it, but this will also be one of the next things where I will do, even if it's only for myself, the API, to maybe try some. It's also a bit my playground. I already did a React version once with data from the old Kirby version. I didn't put it live because it was rougher on the edges, and I mean DevLids, it's an image gallery. It doesn't really need JavaScript. It's just fine as it is. But it's nice to play around and maybe have something like this like as an extra.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, it sounds really good. Sounds really good. I love the way that you've come up with this idea, and it can be used in multiple different sort of like scenarios, different ways of thinking. My mind is sort of like just going off into different directions at the moment as to how useful this could be from not only a sort of a metrics point of view of trying to work out like trends and all of this, but also from a nostalgic point of view as well. That's really cool. Let's now talk a little bit about yourself and what you do on a day-to-day basis. So you sound like you're more of a front-end developer than a back-end developer. Is that a reasonable assumption to make?
Yes, that's completely true. I'm a front-end developer. I work at the company's name is Valtech. Valtech is in lots of countries. It's I think we're 200 something people in Germany, and mostly working on e-commerce websites, front ends, from styling to JavaScript, React. So the front stack, I would say. So my I come from the design area. So I studied communications design originally before I started getting into this whole front end thing. And at university, we did lots of projects with interactive media, and this is where I learned. We worked a lot with processing, which is like a visual. Yeah, it's a Java library for doing visual stuff really simply. And I also had a web design course where we learned like modern HTML and CSS. Like this was the post table layout era. And then I wanted to do an internship for design, and they saw that I can also do front end. And then I started my design internship and ended up coding. Right. But which was really fun for me, and this is how I got into this awesome field.
Yeah, so you're a coder, but you've still got a lot of take on the design aspect. I mean, I noticed that the DevLids website itself is it puts the lid first. It's not it itself isn't overly designed, but it looks amazing. The site looks fantastic, but it puts the content first and foremost. Do you have other things that you've done previously in terms of design that you've worked on, maybe some games or maybe some other things for like perhaps e-commerce banners or what have you? What are those?
So I did lots of different stuff. Like one of the older things, it's a PDF about how to play guitar, like in one page, right? Where you learn the most important 4 chords and have 3 songs. But I did some small games in the last years. It's been a while. I think the last one was 2016. It was like a little puzzle gamer. And for my wedding, 2015. I did a little game with me and my wife, like kind of Mario, but you control me and her like simultaneously and need to collect coins and stuff. Wow. And I think I did 3 or 4 like really small games. So this is like the other hobby of mine. I haven't had a good inspiration or idea in the last month. So maybe if I have again, then DevLids might step aside for a bit. Let's see. Yeah. No, but this is really fun, and I also love doing pixel art. So I did this AutoCAD.
Oh, nice.
As pixel art.
Yeah.
And my favorite sticker printer had like a run for €1 for 10 like cut stickers, so I got them printed.
So I'll just say, so for anyone who's listening on the podcast who hasn't seen this video yet, do check out the video because we're putting up all sorts of stickers at the moment on the screen that Antonio has created.
Right. This is a podcast. Sorry, I'm a first-time podcaster. I've been listening to podcasts for since about iTunes is on Windows, which is 16 years or so.
No worries. Yeah.
But and of course, for everybody who's listening, I just held up an AutoCAD sticker, an unofficial one. I did it myself. I'm not selling it or anything, so don't sue me. It's just a thing I did for myself and for colleagues to hand out. And it's a pixel art AutoCAD. You can see it on the Twitter. if you like. And also I did some pixel portraits, and in general I used to draw and paint like digitally and traditionally a lot, like 10, 15 years, 12, 13 years ago.
Right.
This kind of stopped almost entirely, but I still do things like calligraphy and pixel art, because I also love this whole retro game, indie game things, or really NES, all the retro gaming basically. And pixel art is really cool, or things like Pico 8, which is like a virtual console that you can script with Lua, and it has this pixel art optics.
I've never heard of that.
So this is those are things that like interest me, or that I like to look at and create, and
Excellent. Well, before we end, is there anything else that you would like to add? Any other things that you want to just talk about at all?
So, I as I said before, if you want stickers, they're on Twitter. Just hit me up. I think you will probably add this to the show notes or something.
Yes. I'll put all the links in the show notes of both the podcast and the YouTube video. Is there any like a social media link that you want to just shout out at all?
I really only have DevLids.
So that's at DevLids.
Dev, like devil or developer or device dev, and lids like, the thing that you use to close your laptop. At DevLids, and if you have a laptop and there are stickers on it and it's not yet on there, then please take a photo. I will crop it. I will edit it. I mean, almost every photo I get is somehow distorted, right? So this is something also which is cool about such a project, that you suddenly have a chance to learn stuff and have a purpose for it. Like I wanted always to do a native Mac app, and then I just got into Swift a little bit, and then I really wrote a simple tool for me to be able to perspective crop like lids out of images just really quickly. I mean, there are tools like document scanners and things like this that can do it, but I wanted to just do my own my own little tool for it, and this was fun. It was a fun few days, and I will crop it and I will edit it and put it up, and at your Twitter or YouTube or dev.to handle on there, and like on DevLids forever, or until I stop paying my bill for hosting.
Well, I've got my laptop lid is on there. It's at PFWD. That's my personal Twitter handle. But great. Well, thank you, Antonio, for coming on to the show and talking about DevLids. It's such a great project. Thank you. I mean, you could just fall down that rabbit hole by just going down the pagination and just looking at all of these fantastic laptops. So the project is amazing. It demonstrates the creative side, I think, of us devs. We're not just coders, we're also creative thinkers too. I encourage all the listeners to check out DevLids. That's devlids.com, and you can follow and the DevLids on Twitter at DevLids. So thanks ever so much for coming on the show, Antonio. Thank
you for having me.
You're a very inspirational chap. Thanks everyone for watching or listening on the podcast. Happy coding, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.